People like to say lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice, but it seems director Taika Waititi has accomplished just that with Thor Ragnarok. Chris Hemsworth returns as the God of Thunder in an adventure that sees him trapped on an alien world as Asgard faces a powerful foe. Even though we've seen him on screen 4 times already, his performance is charismatic and engaging enough to keep me rooting for Thor the whole time. Despite the story's serious consequences, the team at Marvel Studios made a hilarious, character-driven movie full of sharp action sequences and what may be the best use of a Led Zeppelin song ever. So if anyone out there is coming down with a bad case of superhero fatigue, this is definitely not the movie to skip this November. Thor: The Dark World was a bit of a grim backstep for the franchise, but Ragnarok is a joyous leap forward that surpasses Kenneth Branagh's original film. Once again, Thor is a fish out of water in a mysterious place, but this movie showcases just how much he's grown over the years.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
He may still love a tall, cold ale, but now he's a responsible adult who takes pride in being called a hero. As he's become increasingly comfortable in his own skin over the years, it's fitting that Ragnarok throws a curveball at the character and takes him out of his familiar fantasy setting. The colorful, clunky sci-fi cityscape, filled with artistic influences from the master himself, Jack Kirby, is a great departure for a hero who is used to exploring floating castles and green meadows. While there is explosive action throughout, the most amusing moments come from the characters interacting with one another. Loki and Thor may be the siblings here, but it's a treat to watch Thor and Hulk bicker and compete like brothers. Newcomer Tessa Thompson steals the show whenever she's on screen, and gives Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman some serious competition for most badass female warrior this year. Valkyrie simply oozes charisma as she goes about her business as a scavenger, drinking and hunting down challengers for the Grand Master. Looking forward, it's silly for Marvel not to integrate her into the fold as much as possible, due to her unique charm and fighting abilities as the Avengers prepare to take on Thanos in Infinity War. Additionally, whoever at Marvel first thought Jeff Goldblum should be cast as the Grand Master deserves a frickin' medal. He dominates the screen as the ruler of Sakaar, a luxurious gladiator planet, and his dry delivery brings a withdrawn quality to the movie's otherwise boisterous sense of humor.
I'm Jeff Goldblum.
Even though most of the big reveals were spoiled in the trailers, I sat right in front of someone who shrieked and hollered whenever his favorite character appeared on screen. "Oh shit, it's Loki!" What do you mean, oh shit? He's right here in the trailer and on this poster. If Hulk's presence in the movie could have been a surprise, those scenes would have likely been more satisfying. But including him was a brilliant idea that never seems forced. In fact, he was one of the strongest parts of the movie, as audiences get to see what he's been doing and how much he's changed since Age of Ultron. This is easily his best depiction on the big screen from both the technical and character standpoint, and in many ways, Ragnarok feels like it could be called The Incredible Hulk Begins, because it sets up a new path for the character as he and Bruce Banner both re-cement their place in the MCU. From a design standpoint, Ragnarok may be Marvel's prettiest movie. It's full of vivid, bright colors that help each shot pop off the screen. Additionally, the costumes play an interesting role in the film. Not only do they all look amazing and well textured, but the main characters' appearances change with their position. Hela, who has her heart set on taking over Asgard, dons an antler-esque crown whenever she's preparing to fight, but lets her hair hang low when she's speaking or having a personal interaction. When Thor first arrives on Sakaar, his cape is even torn off, an unspoken gesture that symbolizes his changed status. While there is some exposition in the movie, especially in the earlier sequences, Waititi does a great job of allowing the visuals to illustrate the characters' journeys. One of the main things I look for when I watch a superhero movie is how they shoot action and how many cuts they use. Obviously there are more cuts in Ragnarok than something like The Raid, but the combat was expertly done. The way Waititi integrated Thor's hammer into the early fights is so wonderfully fun, it's crazy to think no one has done something like it before. Even as Thor punches and shoots lightning, the effects team succeeds at making each brawl flow together seamlessly from one beat to the next, instead of veering off into a feeling of sensory overload. Every fight scene has a clear beginning, middle, and end, as Waititi crafts each sequence to bring the story forward in some way. I don't want to spoil how awesome it is or who comes out on top, but let me just say that the battle between Hulk and Thor, promised in the trailer, actually takes place, and it's glorious. So if you were worried Marvel might be teasing fans like Sony did with Rhino in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer, don't worry. because Ragnarok actually delivers the goods. It's not a perfect film, just look at the villain bent on world domination, but its strengths far outweigh the negatives. The characters, pace, and action culminate in a movie that is easily one of Marvel's best. Not only does it feel like a satisfying, self-contained story, but it does a great job setting up new ground for the maturing God of Thunder. Hopefully Marvel Studios lets Taika Waititi stick around and do whatever he wants, because he turned in a comedic masterpiece that will go down as one of the most fun, sci-fi fantasy movies of the last 10 years. At this point, I really only have one more thing to say.
Great job. 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 Great job.